RackMe podcast season, actually, week 14. I'm with the commissioner, Ken Mosca. Ken, how are you?
Hanging in there, Chad.
He really is hanging in there. He's hurt. He's hurting, but he's doing the podcast. We have Tony Mazer, but we also have special guests. Would you like to introduce a special guest, Tony Mazer, in your car? Tony, are you with me?
Yep. Sorry, having some audio problems, but yeah, I'm with you. Hi, gentlemen.
Who's our special guest? Introduce our special guest.
Our special guest is a man who may or may not have killed a bunch of wrestlers, and for his podcast, it's the great Earl Skakel. Everybody,
Earl Skakel.
I'm trying to figure out. Roddy Piper died the day he was supposed to come on my podcast. Brody Stevens died the day he was supposed to come on my podcast. My friend Lori Adana was killed by her husband the day she was supposed to come back on my podcast. And I think there's two more. So Ralphie May was supposed to do my podcast, but we couldn't work it out because of logistics. I don't think Ralphie could have climbed up the stairs.
I heard Jeff Ross is one of the final comedians closing out Caroline's as they close at the end of the year.
Jeff's on my podcast, the laziest interview I've ever done in my life. Like, I was all excited to have him on the show to talk about Charlie Barnett, who's like this legendary New York street comic. And Jeff looked like he ran an ultra marathon 12 minutes into the podcast. What a fat pig.
Now, Earl, can you introduce our other guest that's on the show right now? Can you do the intro since you guys know each other?
100%. This guy's the real deal. He was maybe one of the greatest closing walk-off home run lines in the history of Roast Battle, although I don't think I could quite say the line. He's a super funny comic based out of Chicago. He's known my last 4 ex-girlfriends, those cunts. Give it up for Jayson Thibault.
Hey!
Hooray.
Jayson Thibault, how are you?
Good. How are you guys? I love the fucking, what are you on? You get kicked off of a sailboat? What are we fucking doing over there?
Dude, I'm Christopher Cross. I'm sailing, baby.
If anybody would be on a boat fucking somewhere off seas doing stand-up, it'd be you.
Thibault, I'm yacht rocking. I'm doing it. I'm hanging out. I love you. I'm going to be honest with you. Hand to God, Ken Mosca. Hand to God, Tony Mazer. When I lived in Los Angeles, I was depressed. I went through a weird period. And I got to be honest with you. Fucking Earl Skakel and Ken, this guy, Jayson Thibault right here, were always cool to me no matter what. They didn't follow the trends. They didn't follow what the narrative was. They were just nice guys. I'll always be loyal to Earl Skakel and Jayson Thibault for the rest of my life. RackMe.
Wow. It got us nothing. Literally, look at what it got us.
It got you guys nowhere, but it helped me.
It hurt my credit somehow. I don't even know.
I like the variety of hats we have. We have a beanie, a sailor's cap, a Matt Drudge fedora, a baseball cap.
I gotta get a hat. Hang on, I gotta get a hat.
Yeah.
Could be something different.
A 9-inch nails hat. I'm sorry, my vision's horrible. I can't see anything.
Rocking the range too, Chad.
There you go.
How's that, guys? Am I back in?
Yeah, you got a beanie. Nice ceiling fan, by the way, Jayson.
It's part of the hat. It's not even a ceiling fan. Look. How's that hat, guys? Top this hat, bro. I can fly on my Inspector Gadget.
By the way, you can watch Jayson Thibault on Punch Drunk Sports, a podcast I used to be on until I got kicked off.
You're on it tomorrow, fuckhead.
I'm on tomorrow. It was on All Things Comedy. I don't know where it's at now. Did you guys get removed?
Yeah, they said it would be best if we went separate ways.
I think I had a process with that. I think I was part of that situation.
No, I don't think so. You were one of our many strikes. I'll say that.
Was Tripoli the last one?
We had a lot of things. I mean, we accidentally set a fire. there's a lot of different reasons. And once they started making money off of like once all the Burt Kreischers and all those guys came in, they were like, hey, fuck all you rinky dink motherfuckers, get the fuck out of here.
All right, so we got booted. That happened. We'll be on tomorrow. The great Johnny Woodard. But let's get things going. Mr. Ken Mosca, I know you have voice problems right now, but who's in the lead? You're in the lead. You're the commissioner, but you're winning.
Yeah, the commissioner has a 4-game lead over Ryan Z.
Where you at?
Chad Zumock had an 11-win week, won the week with 11, and vaulted himself into the conversation.
And this is a pick 'em?
Yeah, by spread. We pick him by spread.
By spread. Okay, gotcha.
So what's the situation? You guys are we're running 2 hot 2s right now. I think Luke Florentine's doing some things. Jim Florentine's doing some stuff. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're asking me?
Yeah, you're the commissioner. You're running the league.
Yeah, they're in the conversation. Jim closer than Luke is.
Oh wow.
They're low to mid 90s.
All right, well, let's get this thing rolling. We're going to Thursday night, December 8th. We're taking on Sam Tripoli's Las Vegas Raiders versus we're doing Kate Quigley's Los Angeles Rams. Commissioner, what do you got?
I got the Raiders laying 6 as of right now. That'll change. Rams are in such disarray. I don't know. I can't trust the Raiders with all 6. I'm going to take the Rams. Raiders will win, but the Rams will cover.
Tony Mazur from the Check Your Brain podcast, which you can subscribe to on Patreon. What do you got?
Is the 6 in honor of Baker Mayfield, who looks like he'll be starting quarterback for the Rams tomorrow night? Which he's wearing number 17 now, so riddle me that.
That's how many teams he's been on this year.
Pretty much. I'm going to go with the Rams as well. It's just a bad football game. As much as Jacobs, I like him from the Raiders. It's just another bad Thursday night game that I'm not going to watch.
Jayson Thibault from Punch Drunk Sports. What do you got?
I like the Raiders. As long as that thing doesn't get teased up to like 9, I like the Raiders. The Raiders are playing good right now. I don't know if Jacobs is playing. I think he's questionable. I think that would be a big factor if Jacobs is sitting. Because he's kind of coming into his own. Devontae Adams is really coming into his own. I think the Raiders are clicking. It's a home game. The Rams are in maybe the most disarray of any NFL team. I like the Raiders as long as that doesn't get up to 8. If that's at 6 or 7, I like the Raiders all day.
The great Earl Skakel, one of my favorite comedians and personalities of all time. I enjoy him on Twitter. Follow him at Earl Skakel. I love Earl Skakel so much. Earl, what do you got?
I haven't seen it. Like Thibault said, the Rams are. I haven't seen a team in this much disarray since any show that has Jeff Ross presents in it. What a slob that guy is. I like the Raiders in this one. The Rams are horrible. I mean, I think they just signed Dieter Brock and James Harris to the practice squad. They just. This is an ally season for them. Super Bowl. I've ever seen a Super Bowl champ go from this to that like this.
It's the worst in NFL history.
Yeah, I mean, it's I do think that Stafford being hurt. I don't think they ever were really honest about his true injury, and I go with the Raiders.
All right, Ken, clock me in with the Raiders too. We'll keep this ball rolling. We're going into Sunday night. We got Tony Mazur's Cleveland Browns versus Josh Sneed's Cincinnati Bengals. The Battle of I-71 is going down. Cincinnati is giving up. I don't know if you have this, Ken, but I have -2.5.
No, I got -6. I'll refresh.
You might be right. I don't know. I'm wearing sunglasses like Corey Hart.
Where is that game being played?
It's in, holy shit, where are we at, Ken?
It's in the Queen City.
Gotcha.
It's 6, Chad.
Oh, -6. Holy shit. Tony, you lead the charge.
Well, if Deshaun Watson's going to play like he did against his old team the other day, Browns don't have a shot. I mean, you want to talk about shaking off rust? My God. Plus, you have Cincinnati's trying to pull into a playoff spot. They've kind of found a nice little tandem in the backfield if they have Mixon healthy, and they have P. Ryan. They have obviously the great receiving core. That 6.5 is tempting, especially with Deshaun Watson, but I'm going to go Cincinnati. I'm going to go Cincinnati. They need to make a statement. They need to keep winning. Every team in the AFC North won last week, so they just got to keep it going, and they're facing a foe. They got to beat them, so I'm going to go with the Bengals in this one.
The great Jayson Thibault. Are you still with the NFL Network? Are you still doing stuff with them?
No, I haven't been there since the pandemic. But I'm going out to LA at end of January. I'm going to be in LA through the summer, so I'm going to go into Red Zone and hang out with the guys for the day and shit like that. But I think this will be their last season because DirecTV's losing their deal. So it would have been coming to an end anyway. But it was super sweet. This game's tough for me because if I'm a game, okay, can I call this one two ways?
Please.
If you want me to be conservative and I'm in a parlay, big like a 6-7 crazy thing parlay, I take the Bengals for every reason you guys just said. It's a more important game. They're clicking. They have chemistry. Cleveland's trying to find theirs. If I'm just going to go, I'm throwing $25 that I get free from whatever your sponsor is on whatever gambling site's my favorite. I go, if I got a fuck it bet, this is my fuck it bet. Because Cleveland can cover, 7 points. Cleveland is not going to win this game, but they might keep this tight for a multitude of reasons. But my heart says, my wallet says Cincinnati. And if I'm feeling crazy, I would take this on a crazy, you throw $25 on it, you're going to win money. If Cleveland wins, you'll get a good payout with the odds, but Cincinnati.
All right. The great Earl Skakel from Inappropriate Earl. You love him. He's on the podcast. You requested him. He's here. Earl, what do you got?
I think Cincinnati will win the game, but the gambling man in me will take Cleveland plus the 6.5.
That's what I was just saying. Yep, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of these games are like that, where if you're just betting straight up, go with one team. But in this game, I think Watson will get. Even though there's a lot of good massage parlors in downtown Cincinnati, I think. Trust me, I know. Last week he did play not the best, but he also, he's got a lot on his mind. 2 years off, basically. I think with each game he'll get better. So I'll take Cleveland in the 6.5.
It's 6.
Oh, sorry, it's 6. But do some shopping, right, Ken? I know you don't want to talk that much, but you probably could find a book that would give you 6.5, right?
Absolutely.
Commissioner, what do you got? Where are you at? You're
I'm
leading.
I'm taking Cincinnati. Burrow is playing just, as well as he did last season. He's finally come into it. He's playing really well. They're going to win. They're going to cover. They really are playing well. But I got to ask Jayson, what's DirecTV losing?
Well, Amazon and Apple and Disney Plus and all those are they're going into a bidding war for the mass distribution, like the NFL package, essentially, which comes with the Red Zone channel. Because they want to be able to stream it, and you'll be able to buy individual packages. Let's say you're just a Giants fan, but you live in fucking New Orleans. You'll be able to just pay for just the Giants games, stream to your iPad, whatever. And because DirecTV is satellite base, they don't have that capacity. So DirecTV is this is the last year of their NFL contract. So the NFL package and DirecTV, and the Red Zone will be from whoever wins. And it's going to be a B word. Wow. It's going to start with a B. Whoever comes up with those billions, whether it's Amazon, whether it's
so I have DirecTV, and I have the package. So after the season on my DirecTV, I won't have that full package.
Depending on where you live in the next year or two, because all in the contractual bullshit is, are they phasing it out? Is it going to be a couple year phase out? Because one of the biggest real stumping points on that contractually has been all of the money that's generated by all of these bars that were told on the last big NFL deal, hey, you got to switch to DirecTV if you want to stream. They're all 13 games in your gigantic bar, and now they're just going to flip that out. So everybody's going to be, all the bars are going to be fucked. So they may, what they're still talking about doing is, let's say it does go to Amazon Prime. DirecTV will be allowed to stream Amazon Prime's feed of it.
Okay. All right.
So
Okay.
they're figuring it all out. But yeah, it's becoming a dinosaur.
It sure is. All right, I'm good. I got Cincinnati, Chad.
All right, yeah, we got another 1 o'clock game. I have the New York Jets versus the Buffalo Bills.
Who'd you take, Chad? Did you take Cleveland or Cincinnati?
Oh, during the picks?
I didn't hear your pick.
I'm taking Cincinnati. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Let's play. I have to catch you, Ken. Ken, you're running wild. We're going to Sunday night. We got the New York Jets versus the Buffalo Bills. Josh Potter's Buffalo Bills. We got Buffalo minus. Whoa, shit, 9.5.
9.5
in
Buffalo. Jayson, Thibault, what do you got?
No, I don't need a soliloquy on this one. Bills. That could be 12, and I'm Bills.
Wow. Mr. Pittsburgh Steelers fan, Mr. Earl Skakel, what do you have on that one?
This is a tough one. It's like the Cleveland game. I think Buffalo will win, but I'll take the Jets and the points.
Wow. Okay, Tony Mazer, can you round it out?
I'm actually going to go Buffalo in this one because the Jets they've turned this quarterback controversy thing with Zach Wilson and Mike White. White had the really good first game, and then after that just turns into another typical New York Jets disaster. So Bills need to keep winning, and I think they will. I think I'll agree with Jayson. I think they'll win by like 2 touchdowns or something. I don't think it matters that 9.5 to me.
Commissioner.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Jets and take that 9.5. I mean, that Jet defense is still good. And I don't agree with Tony. I think Mike White does have some skills. He had 2 chances to win that game last week and didn't. Play calling down near the goal line, I thought stunk. But I'm going to take the Jets. I'm going to roll this one. Take the Jets and the points.
Negative Mike, not so white. I'm going with the Jets myself. Put me down with the Jets. Commissioner Ryan Z, if you're listening, you know what I'm talking about. Let's go to another 1 o'clock game. We got the Houston Texans, who lost to the Browns last week badly, to Ken Mosca's Dallas Cowboys. Commissioner, lead the charge. This is your team. This is America's team. We got, look at that. Dallas Cowboys minus 14. What the fuck am I looking at right now?
16.5, right? 16.5.
I have 14.
You're looking at the wrong column.
All right. Well, listen, whatever. It's a lot of points.
This is going to be another 50 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking Dallas. This is
wow.
not even close.
Earl Skakel from Inappropriate Earl. You can see him on the Ric Flair roast if you go on demand. Earl's on Roast Battle. He's been around. He's a Comedy Store regular. Earl, what do you got?
I'm also on Patreon now. It's time I get paid for my shit. I've got 2 patrons.
Where you at on Patreon? Plug it. Plug your Patreon.
It's just Earl Skakel, I guess. I don't even know how to plug it, to be honest with you. I just signed up for it. So there's 2 levels: the Bonzo Berry level at $5, and that's an obscure reference from Miami Vice, and the Daddy Man level.
Sign up.
That
gets you a free dick pic. It also gets you expert analysis on the WNBA and select beaver shots.
A blowjob from your asshole.
I'm going to take a chance here. Now I have 17 at the line I'm looking at.
We can't. Yeah, we use the ESPN line.
And that's 16 right now?
16.5. I'll refresh.
I'm going to go. I think, once again, I hate to do this because I know it's a gambling podcast. I think Dallas will win the game, but I'm taking Houston in those 16.5 points. I know they're bad, but I don't know if they're almost 3 touchdowns bad.
They're almost 3 touchdowns bad.
Well, I mean, Dallas is one of those teams, though. You look at this game on paper, and you're like, oh, they should kill them. But there's just something about they're a little bit Jekyll and Hyde for me. Yes, they'll win a game by 30 points, and then the next week lose by 3. So I just think I have a gut. It's a feeling that Houston will make this a closer game than what we think.
All right, we go to Punch Drunk Sports' favorite and Sarah Tiana's friend, Jayson Thibault. What do you got?
All day Dallas. This one's also easy for me.
Wow.
I totally agree with maybe it might have been Ken that said it. This is another 50 burger. You know what I've been doing in fantasy football, and I've been doing really well with this, is I play every defense that is playing the Texans.
Wow. There you go.
I drop my defense and I pick them up. You know whose defense I started last week's? Cleveland. 30 points out of my defense. And I picked them up that morning because I go, oh shit, I forgot to drop and start whoever the fuck is playing. And this week it's Dallas. And that's a fucking legit defense. Dude, and I think this game could be 49 to fucking 10.
Rack Thibault.
This might be my lock of the week. I think it's going to be such a bloodbath.
Tony Mazer, what do you got? Close out the shop.
I think it would be 49 to -10. I've never seen a more inept team, purposefully inept to try to tank this season with Houston. I'm watching Lovie Smith on the sidelines. Lovie Smith, who, he's had a decent career, took a team to a Super Bowl, but he is the most checked out, disinterested, here for the money coach I've ever seen. And whether it's Davis Mills or was it Kyle Allen or whoever was the quarterback, they're terrible. And if you have Dallas's defense that just is going to have a field day with this, I seriously think Houston's going to have negative yards this week. So I'm definitely going Houston, or I'm going with Dallas over Houston this week.
Dude, Commissioner put me down for Dallas. Let's move on. We're going with Nick Swartzen's Minnesota Vikings versus Dave Lando's Detroit Lions in Detroit. Detroit is giving up 2.5. That's what I have. Commissioner, are you with me on this one?
Yeah, it's 2.5.
All right. Earl Skakel from Earl, Inappropriate Earl on iTunes.
This is a tough one. Detroit scores so much. I got no problem giving them 2.5 points. Minnesota's the better team. Oh boy, I'm going to go with the Lions at home. They're pretty good on the turf, and Minnesota's might not be as good as we think they are. They've got kind of a padded record. So, and I'm a Jared Goff guy. I root for that guy because how the Rams just let him go. So there's a way to let people go in this business. So I'm going to go with the Lions.
Tony Mazer, you know what it's like to be let go away in this business. What do you have?
Oh yeah, listen to last week's MLC, and I'm doing Pat Dixon's show this weekend too, so that'll be fun.
Are you really?
Oh yeah.
All right. Check out Tony on Pat Dixon's show, who punched Gino Bisconte in the face.
It's the 6 degrees of separation of Gino Bisconte. I'm gonna go with Detroit here in this one. It's like I'm a football guy. I really can't name more than a couple people on the Detroit Lions. Yet they continue winning. They play well for their coach, and they really are this weird success story for a team that, again, it's the Detroit Lions, but they've played pretty solid this year. I think they've only been blown out maybe like once or twice this year, but for a team that I can't really name that many people out if they've overachieved. So I'm going Detroit in this one.
Commissioner, what do you got?
What does our friend Gladwell Ape say? Chad?
What does he say? What does Gladwell Ape say?
He says all Detroit does is cover. Last 2 seasons, nobody covers more than the Detroit Lions.
All right.
So I'm sticking with it. I'm taking Detroit.
Jayson Thibault from Punch Drunk Sports. He's here. He's a friend. I love him. He's one of my favorite people. What do you got? I'll be on his show tomorrow.
I love how every time we go around, there's a whole new. You got to run out of intros after 13 games. I don't even understand how. But I'm going to go Minnesota here. I think maybe Detroit's won 3 in a row. I think maybe that might come to an end this week. It's a dome team playing in a dome. I don't know why people sleep on Minnesota. I'm not here saying they're great, but they're top 5 NFC team. I don't know if it's everybody's got something against Cousins or whatever, but they got a fucking great running back. They got an opportunistic defense. And I'll take Minnesota for a field goal. So I'll take Minnesota.
And I'll close it out with our dear friend Nick Swartzen, who I've been drunk with many of times and had lots of fun. Loves his Vikings. They're having a great time right now. I'm going to go with Minnesota in Detroit. Shout out Dave Landau, who I love too. But we'll move on to another 1:00 game. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars versus Nate Bargatze's Tennessee Titans in Tennessee. Tennessee's giving up -4.5. No, -4.
4.
Sorry. Commissioner, you lead it off since you corrected me.
I think that's low. I thought that would be a little higher, even though Jacksonville is a lot more competitive this year. But Tennessee's coming off of a bad loss. They a bad loss in Philadelphia. So I'm taking Tennessee. It's not a lot of points to lay here.
Well, Commissioner Ken, I want to put this out there right now. We're doing this for free. Tonight, this is going out free. If you listen, you subscribe, please go to the iTunes, the Pandora, the Spotify, hit subscribe, the iTunes. We're doing this for free tonight. It's an all-star lineup. We have great guys, and you always ask for your favorites, and we deliver. Earl Skakel is one of your favorites. Earl Skakel and Jim Florentine are the favorites. And listen, we have Earl Skakel tonight. So, Earl, who do you have right now?
In what game? I'm sorry, that intro was so long. I don't remember the game.
Jacksonville at Tennessee.
Oh,
Tennessee giving up 4.
I like Tennessee. I love Lawrence, the QB of Jacksonville, but he's like a good goalie on a shitty hockey team. It's going to be a while, and they're bad on the road too. Actually, both teams are bad on the road. So, seeing that Tennessee's at home, I'm sensing a 10 to 15 point victory for Tennessee.
Tony Mazur from the Check Your Brain podcast.
Yes. By the way, the things you find in your car when you're doing a podcast.
What is that?
That's the Gino Visconti COVID is the flu with a better publicist sticker.
Okay.
Anyways,
you're losing.
That goes in the Ashman. I'm going to go Tennessee in this one. They fired their GM this week after, like Ken said, they got blown out by Philadelphia by A.J. Brown, who used to play for them. And that was a really bad look for them. So I think Tennessee is going to try to, stay around here. I mean, they're really not in a very good division anyways. And you're facing a better Jaguars team, but I don't think they're as good as Tennessee. So I'm going with the Tuxedos here.
Jayson Thibault. I'll be on Punch Drunk Sports tomorrow.
What's the spread of this one again?
4.
And where is it at?
At Tennessee.
I'll go Tennessee. I also think for 2 reasons. I love this fucking Treylon Burke kid. I think he's finally coming into his own. He was injured for 4 weeks. And I don't think that there's any way in the world, at home especially, that Henry has another bad week like he did. He had his off week of the year. That shit ain't happening twice. I think they win by maybe 6 to 9.
Tennessee. Put me down for Tennessee, Commissioner. I'm Tennessee all the way. Let's go into another 1:00 game. We got Ron Bennington's Philadelphia Eagles versus Eddie Trunk's New York Giants in New York, actually. New Jersey.
At the Ghettolands.
At the Ghettolands. But we have Philadelphia giving up -7, Commissioner. What do you got on that one?
I tell you what, that opens at 6 and it's at 7. I mean, I can't believe it's that still that low. It's going to go higher. I mean, it's going to go higher. It has to. Eagles are so much better than the Giants. I'm taking Philadelphia. They're going to cover.
Earl Skakel from Inappropriate Earl on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud.
I'm actually not on Spotify. I couldn't figure out how to do it. I need a manager.
Dante from Golden Artist Entertainment. You should look into him.
No, I like Amy, Jeff Ross's manager. I mean, how she gets that guy continual work is so mind blowing to me. It's like trying to explain the universe to a 2-year-old. I disagree with the commissioner. I think the Eagles will win, but I think the Giants plus, I mean, has a right now 7. It could go as high as 10. Who knows? I like the Giants with the points at home. I just, that's one of those games. The Eagles will win, but the Giants will cover.
Jayson Thibault, who was part of the NFL for a long time. What do you have?
I like Eagles in this. I like the Eagles in this. I think they're firing on all cylinders. I think the Giants are good. I know it's a lot of points, but this is a tough one. This one is the one where this is a tough one for me, but I'm going to go Eagles win by maybe 9 or 10.
Wow. Tony Mazur, can you close it out?
Yeah, the Giants, they have Brian Daboll as their head coach, and I've seen Brian Daboll so many years, whether it's in Cleveland or Buffalo and all these places, and he starts out like the first half of the season, it's like gangbusters, the offense, like no one. It's like when Chip Kelly's with Philadelphia a few years ago, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, this offense!" Then the league starts catching up, and then they start coming back to earth, and I think that's what's happened with the Giants. So if that spread moves, I would have been a little more wary, but as it stands now, I'm going to go with Philadelphia.
Throw me down for Philadelphia, Commissioner. Let's go down to the other 1:00 game. We have 4 games left. We have Ryan Sickler's Baltimore Ravens versus fucking Earl Skakel's Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh at Heinz Field. And we have Pittsburgh giving up -2.5. Commissioner, is that what you have?
Yeah, I had this opening up as Pittsburgh getting a point, and now they're given 2.5.
Wow. So where do you stand on this one?
This is such a Jekyll and Hyde team, the Ravens. I don't think they travel well at all. This Pickett, and Earl would know more about this. He follows them. But what's the last 2 or 3 weeks, Pickett has really picked up his game, right, Earl? He's really playing a lot better. I just don't trust. I don't trust Baltimore, especially on the road. I'm taking Pittsburgh. I'm going to take Pittsburgh and give that 2.5.
Wow. All right, let's go to Earl Skakel, who is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan who knows the inside info.
I am a fan, but I'm not a homer. Pretty realistic.
Or a homo.
Well, I mean, pussy's been a gateway drug to dick for me. So that's an old.
He's not lying. He's not lying.
And all you girls listening, you might be next, but you'll never be first.
Woo!
So there's a little drama with the Steelers right now. Pickens is starting to act out. I don't know what it is with the Steelers and their wide receivers. And Deontay Johnson was acting out, saying, "Hey, I'm probably the best receiver in this league. I got to get more targets into a game." So they do that. Now Pickens is complaining. I did like the play calling for once for Matt Canada last week. It seems like he was using all the weapons correctly. Without Jackson, I think the Steeler defense will eat up Huntley. I don't think Highsmith gets enough credit. Like, I know Watt's the main guy, but they're bringing me back memories of Greg Lloyd and Kevin Green. So I like the Steelers in this one. I don't care what the point spread is. This probably might end up being a pick'em game by the time kickoff rolls around.
Yeah.
All right, Jayson Thibault, a podcast I used to do called Punch Drunk Sports till I was kicked off of. I was banned because of Patton Oswalt, but now I'm going to be a guest tomorrow. I'm back. I'm doing it. Thibault, what do you got?
Steelers.
Yeah.
For all the reasons Earl said. And as a Falcons fan, I got to get a real good look at the Steelers last week. And I agree with everything he's saying. I like the way they run the ball. I like the way they control the clock. Another team that's playing opportunistic defense. They got Watt back. I didn't say wet back. Don't cancel me. I said they got Watt back.
Wet back.
but then, and again, no fucking Jackson, no fucking, I mean, their running game is, by committee. I'm talking Ravens. I mean, I take Steelers.
Thibault, let me ask you something. You grew up in the Chicago area.
Yeah.
How are you a Falcons fan and not a Bears fan? What happened?
Well, I'm a fan of all Chicago sports except for football. But literally, when I was 7 and I just started getting into football, I had an uncle that, drove around the country in a motorhome, and he lived in Atlanta. And when he came through for the summer, brought me a Falcons hat and a Falcons jersey when I was like 7.
It was that simple.
It was literally that simple. And then football cards after that, and then Madden after that, and then so I just always
Deion Sanders.
Yeah,
here you
Deion
go.
Sanders, the run and shoot, all those years. Andre Rison.
Yeah, there you go. He had his house burned down by Lisa Left Eye Lopez.
Yeah,
it leads us into Cleveland, which is Tony Mazur's fandom, which is the Browns. Tony, what do you have?
I said this on Twitter the other day. I said, I'm going to become an Atlanta Falcons fan permanently if they decide to go back to those Billy White Shoes Johnson era helmets and jerseys again.
I love them. Every time we wear them, everyone's like, why the fuck aren't these our uniforms? They're fucking so badass.
That's what the Milwaukee Brewers did. It was like they kept having those retro nights with the MB glove hats, and everyone's like, why not just bring those back? Nobody likes what the Prince Fielder, Ryan Braun years.
No shit.
So, I was going to go Ravens, but you guys convinced me. Steelers are just playing better, and Ravens are playing uninspired and distracted football. I mean, if Lamar Jackson's spending more time fighting with people on Twitter, which sounds like me, at the gym. So I'm going to go Pittsburgh in this game.
Commissioner, throw me down with Pittsburgh. Let's keep it rolling. We got another one. I'm sorry. It's a 425 game. We got Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mike Calta's Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus Dan Sorter's San Francisco 49ers. We're in San Francisco. San Francisco's getting up -2.5. Jayson, Thibault, what do you got?
How about 3.5? How about 3.5, Chad?
You have 3.5? I have 2.5.
San Francisco against who? I'm sorry.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And it's at Tampa?
And it's -3.5 according to the commissioner.
It's 3.5.
Oh, the old the old Josh Purdy. Is that what we're doing here? Who, by the way, was 6 months old when Tom Brady got drafted by the Patriots.
Wow.
6 months old when he got drafted into the NFL. The Niners quarterback was 6 months old. I'm gonna go. God damn it! Much as I hate to say it, Tampa. I just don't know. I haven't seen enough with this kid, and I think if you're just gonna go hand it off to McCaffrey left, hand it off to McCaffrey right, and I don't know. I'll go Tampa, but this is one I could see being an upset. This is another one that I would take the points if I was making a smaller bet and trying to have a bigger payout. I would take the points, but I'm going to go Tampa.
At Earl Skakel.
I'm going to go. Who's the quarterback on the 49ers now with both guys out?
I think it's Josh Purdy.
I don't know who that is.
Mr. Irrelevant. He was the last quarterback taken this year, the last person taken this year in the NFL.
Okay. I mean, if Garoppolo was playing, I would go with the 49ers. But of course. I think, Brady, he's got a little gas left in the tank. So I'm going to go with the Bucks.
Commissioner.
Yeah, I don't like this game at all. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay because I really want them to slow down this 49ers train. But I think the 49ers in that defense, they have a chance to really cause Brady troubles. But
I agree.
I'm gonna take Tampa Bay.
Tony Mazur, Check Your Brain podcast.
And I'll go San Francisco just because I don't think Purdy has to really do too much with this team. I mean, that's why you get Christian McCaffrey. It takes the load off of somebody like Garoppolo, who before was, Jimmy Garoppolo was never known as one of the best quarterbacks in football. He was a game manager. He game managed his way into the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. He's not an elite 5,000-6,000 yard tosser. He's a guy that if you have weapons around you like McCaffrey and Samuel, you don't really need to do too much. So I think that's what they're going to do with Purdy. And so I'm going to go San Francisco in this game.
Throw me on San Francisco. And before we go into the next, we have 3 games left. We have to ask Earl and we have to ask you both this question right now.
Is it about Kanye?
No, it's about Perry. Perry Caravello?
Caravello.
Yeah, see that.
From Windy City Heat, you guys are Comedy Store guys. Like,
Yeah.
What are your stories? What do you have? We're obsessed.
About Perry?
I mean, Thibault probably has more stories about him than I do. I did an open mic with him. Actually, Dante's open mic at the Canoga Bowl, which my all-time favorite Canoga Bowl story is the security guard got killed there one night during the comedy show. And he was a great guy. I don't even think he worked there. He just loved the comedy show, so he would just clean up and just kind of loiter around. And there was a gang initiation where this Armenian gang had to kill a black person, and unfortunately James was the guy. Dante the next day goes, "Hey everyone, we all love James. Come to the Canoga Bowl tonight for a special comedy show." Like, it's it's shameless, dude. But Perry was there, and he gave me a business card.
Earl, he threw a bringer funeral.
I know, a bringer funeral. You had to bring 8 people to be a pallbearer.
to get to talk about somebody you never fucking cared about.
Now, a lot of people think Ralphie May's funeral was a bringer. It's just they needed as many hands on deck for that casket.
So Thibault,
I don't have any stories about Perry specifically. That's
I never had very many either, except for I'll tell you one that when right after that Windy City Heat first came out, I was hanging out with Barris a lot, and he had all these like videos and like literally VHS tapes that never made it to anything. Just from the decades of fucking with this guy. So he shows me this one video, and it's okay. So it's Don's, like a hidden camera from Don's living room, right? So you can just see the whole living room. And Perry needed to borrow $200. So Don's telling him to come over to the house. I'll give you the $200, loan you whatever the fuck. So so it's just this camera, and as you can see, and on like the mantle in Don's shit was just a big stupid fucking like a sign about this big, just like a big piece of cardboard, in really big letters. It said wallet, and an arrow that was just pointing down to the top of the mantle. So Don comes walking in, you hear the doorbell ring. Don comes in, they come in. Don obviously frames him right in front of the camera that Perry can't see. And yeah, pal, I'd love to loan you the money, buddy, but I just can't seem to find my wallet. Let me go back and see if maybe I left it in the men's room. Whatever the fuck. Don leaves, just walks into his bedroom or whatever, and you see Perry look around and read the sign that says wallet real big with an arrow pointing, and goes in the wallet and takes a bunch of money out of the wallet. And then Don comes back in the room, and I can't find my wallet, pal. I'm sorry. I'll have to give it to you some other time. And he goes, no problem, Don. Just let me know anytime. And then he leaves.
Wow. What a scumbag.
Who would have a sign that just says wallet really big and an arrow? It almost looked like a fucking, like a sandwich board. It was just the biggest, stupidest sign on his wall that said wallet with a big arrow. And then it was just a wallet open with a bunch of cash in it.
Well, shout out to Shuli and Don Levy because they're having him on the show soon. So check out the Shuli show, the Uncle Rico show, coming up very soon. Let's keep the show going.
Well, can I say one more thing about Perry?
Please.
I think the best prank they ever pulled on him was when they were doing the sequel, and it never happened because of, I don't know, some legal things I don't know anything about. Perry was working at a print shop, and so Don put in an order for Windy City Heat 2 posters. Someone else has, like, and it sent Perry like off into a tizzy. People ask, and I'm sure Thibault gets the same thing. That's not really real, is it?
Oh, that's the
It's
number one question I get.
100% real that Perry still thinks he's going to be an action star.
A million billion% real. A million billion% real.
So that's it. They made posters for Windy City Heat Part 2.
Yeah, was someone else playing Perry's role?
Yeah.
And Perry like lost his mind.
That's awesome. All right, let's keep it going. We got 3 more games left. Let's close it out. We got Johnny Woodard's Carolina Panthers versus
Chad, you skipped Kansas City. So Kansas City at Denver.
Okay.
Kansas City giving up 9.5.
All right. Wow. Okay. Earl, what do you got?
Kansas City, what is it, 9.5?
9.5. Opened at 7.
Yeah, and there's a reason it's going up. I like Kansas City. They look like they're Denver's just horrible. This game
It's
could be
so
played in
weird.
Russell. I don't know what Russell Wilson's mindset is right now. He's probably thinking, Seattle wasn't so bad after all. And Kansas City looks like they're rounding into playoff form, and that ain't good news for Denver. So, usually anytime the spread's above 7-8 points, I'll go with the underdog, but I got to go with Kansas City here.
Jayson Thibault from Punch Run Sports.
I agree. Pretty much ditto what Earl said. Ditto. I don't know what the fuck's going on with Russell Wilson and all this. They're in disarray. I don't know if they're poorly coached or bad chemistry, but I gotta go.
Both.
I gotta go with Kansas City.
Tony Macer from Check Your Brain.
Yeah, I think it's all of the above. Poorly coached, poor execution. Denver's as we say, it's a boring team. Russell Wilson. My line is that he looks like Ricky Henderson on the Padres. There's some glimpses you've seen a couple of times, but for the most part,
great analogy.
Better days are behind him. So I'm going to go Kansas City.
Ricky Henderson on the Padres. I have his rookie card. Commissioner, what do you got?
Well, one of the problems that Russell Wilson's having is he's calling the Seattle Seahawks plays, and the offense for Denver is literally saying to him in the huddle, what the fuck are you calling? What is it? We don't understand a word you're saying. So he keeps referring back to the Seattle playbook. And then when that came out last week, the Seattle coach said, well, remember he got mad at me last year when I said that he didn't want to wear the bracelet on his wrist to know the plays. They're saying that you could spot Russell Wilson, the C and the T, and he still can't spell cat. So there's definitely a learning disability there. But I'm taking Kansas City. This is going to be a blowout. And Nathaniel Hackett is going to get fired at the end of the year.
Oh, wow. For sure. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%.
Because I think even if Denver stops them, the field goal kicker, Casey's really good. So with that altitude, it's going to add 5 to 10 yards potentially on his kicks. So even if they stop them, they're still going to score.
The other thing is, to Ken's point, they got a brand new owner that just paid a fucking $1 billion something for this fucking team. And the first thing they did was give a fucking third of that money to Russell Wilson, and they're losing. That coach is gone.
Look at the picks. Look at the picks that they gave up to Seattle to get Russell Wilson. That they're screwed. They're screwed for the next 3 to 5.
They're fucked. They got the SMU fucking death sentence.
Yes, they did.
And they gave it to themselves. That's the crazy part.
Exclusive. Throw me down for Kansas City, Ken. I actually don't want no part of that. Let's keep it rolling. We got 3 more games left. We got the Johnny Woodard Carolina Panthers versus the Craig Gass Seattle Seahawks. And we got Seahawks giving up minus 3.5. Is that what you got, Commissioner?
3.5.
Yeah. So we'll lead it off with Earl Skakel.
What game is this? You guys cut out.
Carolina at Seattle. Seattle giving up 3.5.
See, I think this game could be a blowout. I'm going to take Seattle. Carolina's they're just a bad team. Their quarterback situation is a disaster. They're playing for virtually nothing. With plenty of games left, so that they got to be like just going through the motions. And Geno Smith, he's like the black Vinny Testaverde toward the end. He's keeping on. So Seattle for me.
Commissioner, what do you have?
Seattle.
All right, let's throw it over to Tony Mazer. Tony, what do you got?
Is this the Sunday night game?
No.
Okay. I was going to say, I'm thinking of other things I could watch instead. I don't know, maybe watch Mayberry RFD or something instead of watching that game.
Small Wonder, or trying to think of some other great
Manimal.
Sunday shows.
Start watching Manimal. Yeah, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna watch Airwolf reruns. I'm gonna go Seattle on this one.
Jayson Thibault, I'll be on Punch Drunk Sports tomorrow. What's up, Jason? What do you got?
Hey, great. First of all, long time, first time, having a blast here on the introduction podcast. I am going Seattle. I agree with Earl. I think this one could actually get out of hand, especially if Seattle has a healthy backfield. If Kenneth Walker, the 50th, is 100% healthy, this could get out of hand quick. Seattle, no brainer.
Commissioner, throw me down for Seattle. Let's go. We have 2 more games left. We have one more Sunday night game. We have Jim Florentine's Miami Dolphins versus Gino Bisconte's Los Angeles Chargers in Los Angeles. The Dolphins are giving up -2. Where are you at, Jayson Thibault, on this one?
3, Chad?
I have 2.
All right, let me refresh.
You're probably right.
We're still using ESPN though, right?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I got 3.
All right, 3. Well, let's go 3.
This is Dolphins who?
At Chargers.
At Chargers, Miami in Los Angeles. Earl's hometown. Earl lives in West LA. I've been to his house. There's homeless people everywhere.
Oh, it's out of control.
I go Dolphins. I think Dolphins, boy. I like the Dolphins right here.
Earl in West Hollywood. Same rent-controlled place of all time. Homeless people everywhere. Where are you at with this game?
I mean, I voted for the rich guy for mayor. What's his name? I don't even remember his name. Start with a G. Rick Caruso. No, it didn't even start with a G. I mean, this homeless is out of control. I got a guy who lives right outside my condo in a 3-story tent with a kiddie pool that's hooked up to a generator that's doubling as a jacuzzi. It's gross in this city. You got Newsom. He's out of control. I mean, how many of these Twitter accounts are meme accounts based on LA crime? I mean, it's like The Wire 2.0. So be that as it may.
Where do you stand with Gavin Newsom?
He's out of control. I mean, I'm not even a Republican. I'm really not. I'm like in the middle. I voted for Larry Elder because he's like the only black Uncle Tom I'd ever seen in my life. I mean, it's a Democratic state. You got every mayor. I mean, go to San Francisco, see what Pelosi's done to that fucking town. It's like walking through a cow pasture. There's so much shit on the sidewalk and the street. People juicing up right in front of you. I mean, it's, LA, the mayor's a Democrat. Karen Bass, she said, "Oh, I don't think crime's too bad." And then her house gets broken into. She's like, "We got to do something about this crime."
Yeah.
And the only guy who can afford to fucking fix all the problems doesn't get anybody. He spent like $100 million. You got to know he's steaming right now. This has nothing to do with the Charger game. This is a tough one for me because Chargers aren't playing like I thought they would. I thought they would be better this year.
Me too.
But I'm not sure. And they're getting +3. I don't know. I like the Chargers at home. Miami is a weird. They're Jekyll and Hyde to me. One week they look great, and they'll win a game against the Steelers. where they won, but if the Steelers made some plays, the Steelers should have won that game. So I don't think Miami. What's going on? I hear laughter.
I'm still laughing here. Keep going. Just do what you do. Do what you do.
I'm just saying it sucks to live out here. Like it's the crime, the rapes, and I'm just talking about LA comedy right now.
Hello.
Hello.
It's insane out here. Like I can't even walk my dog at night without carrying these brass knuckles.
A dead hooker.
Stephen Piercy from Rack gave me these. I literally carry these like this when I'm walking Lois. I mean,
wow,
it's unbelievable out there. Poor Caruso. He was going to buy homeless shelters and just turn them into like nice fucking living conditions for these hood rats who come out here to be actors. They work with Jeff Ross and they're tossed aside like fleas.
Tony Mazer.
Keep roasting, you fucking losers. Tony
Mazer, follow Earl right now.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how I can. So I'm just going to go Miami in this one.
Commissioner, close it out because I'll tell you I'm going Miami.
Yeah, I'm going with the Chargers.
Really? Can I ask why?
Yeah, you know what? Against the spread, the Chargers are 7-5. They're battling for a playoff spot too. I'm not sold on the Dolphins. Yeah, I mean they're 8-4 and they're 6-6 against the spread. But I don't know about this line. This opened up with Miami getting a point, and now they're giving up 3. And that look, that'll change again. But for our purposes, it's 3. I just have more. I think I have more faith in the Chargers quarterback than I do in the Miami quarterback. And everyone's jumping all over the Miami quarterback. They're jumping on his bandwagon. I don't know what it is. I'm just not crazy about him. If this was in Miami, it'd be a different story. But no, that's why I'm taking the Chargers. I just don't have full faith in Tua.
All right, we got one more game left. We have the Monday night game. We have the Monday night game of Bill Burr's New England Patriots versus the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. The Patriots are giving up -1.5. Commissioner, where are you at with this one?
Arizona's a dumpster fire. I'm taking New England.
Earl Skakel from Inappropriate Earl podcast, where you can listen to his podcast with Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, I had him right up until the all black Royal Rumble idea for Hulk Hogan. He was like, I gotta go. This is, oh boy, this is a tough one. I mean, the Cardinals are coming off a bye, so they'll be rested. I'm gonna go with Arizona. I just don't like the Patriots offense. I know Belichick's a great coach, but a lot of that greatness came from number 12. So I don't even know if it's an upset to be. It's 2 shitty teams, so I'll go with Arizona.
Speaking of bye, we have Jayson Thibault. How are you?
Hello. I've never been
Hello.
thirstier. Never been thirstier, you handsome devil. I'm going to go ahead and agree with Earl. Coming off the bye, Arizona, they are a dumpster fire, but I think if there's ever a game they can pull off at home, it's to you pick them goddamn near. And I think this is the first game that they've had both Hollywood Brown and Hopkins in the same game. And I think they're coming off a bye. They're going to be a little healthier. We're going to get, Murray's not going to have his hamstring as nagging. I said nagging. It's I'm going to go Arizona, but this is a fucking, just like the point spread says, this is a fucking coin toss. I'm going to go Arizona.
Tony Mazer, ladies and gentlemen, closing it out. What's up?
Yeah, this is a game when they put it on paper last year looked like a pretty darn good game. Like Arizona had a really nice, 3 quarters of the season, and Mac Jones took New England to a place they didn't think they were going to go. And now you look at where we're at this point in the season, you go, boy, this is Yeah, this is another small wonder night. I'm gonna skip Monday Night Football, watch something else tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna go New England. I'm gonna go with Ken in this one, but for no other analysis other than, nah, I just feel like picking New England.
Hey, Tony, the last 12 home games Arizona has had, they're 1-11.
Really?
There's no home field advantage in Arizona.
What home? Goodness gracious. Yeah.
Well, hey, Commissioner, throw me down for New England too. I want to thank specifically two of my favorite people. I love Earl Skakel. I love Jayson Thibault. I'll be on Jayson Thibault's podcast Punch Drunk, which I was banned from, but I'm coming back as a guest tomorrow.
Yep.
No longer on All Things Comedy, right? We're no longer there.
No, I think all of our old stuff is out there, but yeah, we're not streaming live off of All Things Comedy. We kind of got him kicked off YouTube a few times, and I didn't fly so hot with Bill Burr.
Yeah, Bill Burr has a problem with me for some reason or another. Earl, everyone loves Earl. It's a whole
Not
thing.
everyone.
Jeff Ross doesn't love Earl, but everyone else does. Earl, where can we find you?
I don't even think Jeff has a problem with me. He's so delusional. He's like, oh man. He asked my buddy, why does Earl hate me so much? It's like get your head out of some open micer's twat and wake up to reality, you fat pig. People can find me at Earl Skakel everywhere, all the usual spots, and Patreon, I guess. And
You're the
I'd like
best.
to give it.
Earl,
I'm
I'm looking
best.
you up. Earl, I'm looking you up on Patreon and I can't find you.
How do we find you on Patreon? Tell us specifically
I
how
don't
we
know.
find you.
Earl Skakel, I guess.
No, it's not under Earl Skakel.
This is how crazy it. Well, I'll figure it out next time I come on. I'm looking at it right now, to be honest with you, but it's sorry about it's Earl Skakel, podcasting, comedy, and roasting losers.
Earl, can you do us a favor and tag all of us on Twitter and we'll retweet it?
Yes.
Okay, I hate doing that, but I want to give a shout out to Chad. Chad's got about 25 podcasts taking shots at him, and he might be the most hated man in podcasting. Like I've never seen so many other people's shows going after one target. No one talks about me.
But they become fans, so I'm not offended by it. They end up becoming fans, so it's like at first it's like what the fuck. Eventually, you become a fan, so it's not a big deal. I'm good with that. Jayson Thibault,
we've been friends from day one. Dude.
I love you. You're one of my favorite people of all time. And Tony Mazer, what do you got going on?
I've got Check Your Brain podcast for free wherever you get your podcasts. Patreon.com/Tony Mazer. One of these times I actually got to have Earl on my podcast because I want Earl to just name drop all these people like Don Adams and everybody that he's interacted with.
And Faye Ray. He knows Faye Ray.
Faye Ray from King Kong.
Yes, I walked her down 19 flights of stairs in the Northridge earthquake because she lived right next to me. And I thought, well, let me make her laugh. And I said, hey, I think he's coming back for you. And she just looked at me like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Just walk me down the fucking stairs, bitch.
That's a great line. I think he's coming back for you.
I bombed. I'm not going to lie to you, Ken. The building was shaking because we were on rollers. I don't know if they do that in New York. I guess you guys don't have earthquakes per se, but so literally as I'm walking her down the stairs, we're moving side to side, and she was pretty scared. But she must have been around 80 in 94. She looked beautiful. I've never seen an 80-year-old woman look beautiful. Believe me, I've been with a few.
The Northridge earthquake was actually not Northridge. It was technically Reseda, where the epicenter was. And that's where I want to know, where was Perry Caravello during it?
He was probably, what was he doing? Probably at the print shop making up flyers. I don't know. I don't want to know where he was at 8 in the morning.
Tony, close it out with your credits.
That's it. Patreon.com/Tony Mazer. Go subscribe, $5 a month.
Maybe Earl will be on. We'll see what happens. Ken Moss,
Yeah.
commissioner. Jayson Thibault, I'll be on Punch Drunk Sports tomorrow. God damn it.
Yes, sir.
We're putting this out for free. Earl Skakel, you all love him. God damn it. We all love Earl. Jesus Christ. You send me messages all the time. We love Earl, and he's here.
So keep it real. I speak up for the victims of violence and rape and roast battle.
Shout out to Dante from Golden Artist Entertainment. Go follow him. It's Jayson Thibault, Earl Skakel, Ken Mosca, Tony Mazer. I'm the Z-Man, the captain. I have 7 podcasts making fun of me. God bless. We'll see you soon. We'll see you
Hey,
soon.
guys.